Traditionally, ABM strategies have been centered on new high value customer acquisition, right? But the criteria tends to shift considerably for retention efforts. So maybe you could share some specific metrics and data points companies should use when using ABM to identify customers with high potential. I mean, things like purchase history, engagement levels, industry trends, etc.
Sure, absolutely. So again, I think it really depends on the company, the size, and their customer configuration, their balance from a pipeline expectation perspective of acquisition of new customers versus retention and renewal, cross-sell, upsell. So modeling that out from a pipeline perspective is step one. That's very, very important. I'm going to give you two examples from recent roles that I have held. One was at Riskified, where we were really using account-based marketing and an account-based growth strategy end-to-end to support the go-to-market functions. That was centered on net new customer or largely nascent customer expansion, and we were very centered on that. When you're using ABM for the purposes of nascent customer expansion or true net new, first of all, set the expectations across the business. It's expensive. It's expensive from a calories and a cash perspective. So being really thoughtful about using true one-to-one ABM as an acquisition strategy is important because you're going to invest a lot up front. It is an effective strategy, particularly when you have a very clear and smaller target audience. At Riskified, the total addressable market, given the platform economics, e-commerce fraud protection, meant it was an appropriate demand strategy for an acquisition motion for them. Only less than 4,000 entities globally to target. So when you have that kind of smaller addressable market, I think account-based marketing and one-to-one or one-to-few is a good strategy. When you have a very, very large addressable market like Red Hat or many, many of the players in B2B SaaS and enterprise software, I would suggest that it is often a better strategy to use a blended approach with ABM and using, if you have a very, very dense revenue pyramid with a lot of high value accounts at the top where they're contributing 50, 60, 70% of your annualized revenues. ABM in that kind of model looks, I think, very different, and it's more of a retention, cross-sell, upsell demand strategy for those existing customers. So it's very, very important to, again, align the demand type or demand strategy to the cohort of accounts, whether they're existing customers, very large revenue dense customers, emerging customers, or true net new, and being very thoughtful about how you're developing that strategy aligned to those different scenarios.